What's up with you? It's your guy King David, TrapMonster.com. And here today I'm going to be doing a review over how I have the Maschine Studio and the Maschine Jam set up side by side with each other. And also I will be covering the things I like and things I do not like since I've been having this Maschine Jam. I've been having it for about like a week now. So let's go straight to it. Alright, so I got the camera in my hand right now, and so I wanted to just show you how I have everything set up. Of course, you see the Maschine Jam and the Maschine Studio in the Complete Control S49 right here, and I have it actually on my I still have the same stand. I just put a board up underneath it to hold both units. So right where you normally would have seen my machine sitting at, I just put a board up underneath that, and then set both of the hardware on top of it. So the best suit how I do everything, because I want to utilize the Jam when it comes to song arrangement and being able to lay out new patterns and stuff without the hassle of making a new pattern in the Maschine Studio and then creating the pattern after that. It just seems like to me it would be a lot faster for me to just hit one button and I got a new pattern, you know. So that's partial the reasons of me getting it, and the rest of it I'm going to cover in the next segment of this video right here. It's all one video though. So yeah, I have it on the board, and of course I have everything streamlined, so you'll see the software, then both units, and then the keyboard. I like it like that, everything straight up the middle. But before I had just the Maschine Studio sitting right here, and then I had the Jam sitting over here, and me having to work right here in my workflow streamlined the way it is, and then having to turn my whole body to come out of my creativity and workflow to come way over here to do something. This didn't seem too streamlined for me, so that's why I put it right here side by side. I think for me it's the best way to incorporate the Jam, because if it's sitting off to the side and you have, of course, your machine, you know, Studio or MK2 or whatever you have, and they say that they're supposed to work together, it only makes sense for them to be side by side, because if you happen to come out of your environment or your creative flow to be able to do something with the Jam, then you're not utilizing it, in my eyes, the best way you could, you know what I'm saying? So in a few people's setup, I've actually seen people have the Jam sitting right side by side with the Studio or the machine that they have. Another thing is in making sure your keyboard is lined too though. You don't want to have your keyboard behind you or off to the side and you facing toward these two, but then you got to still turn to the side. That's coming out of your creativity to do that. Some people do it just so they feel like they're doing something by having to turn and do all this and all that, when in fact you're really taking away from your creativity, from my perspective, when you have to come out of it in such a way to turn from away from what you're working on. So that's how I have everything set up right now with the Jam and controllers and the S49 and the Maschine Studio. I have it all set up like this, and it best suits for me this one, and I'm able to utilize all three at the same time. Like I said, I've seen people with videos and they're not using all three, and so I mean, I paid money for it. I want to be able to use all three at the same time without having to do too much turning and stuff like that. So yeah, that's this part of the segment, is how I got it set up in my studio environment. The next video is going to be about the things I like and things I don't like, so just hold tight. I'm gonna switch my camera view. Alright, so here I am in Maschine now, man. I got the Maschine Jam hooked up in the studio side by side in this nice little layout, and I'm gonna go over some things that I kind of noticed about working with the Maschine Jam that I didn't really see too many people talking about in tutorials and stuff like that. You know, I'm gonna do my trolling and look around and see who's doing what, who's talking about what, and there were some features on here that a lot of people ain't really talking about that I was unaware of as well. First and foremost, I like to say it didn't have a fucking power button. I definitely would need a fucking power button on this damn thing. I didn't know that there was not no power button on here. Second thing is, it does well. It does, the step sequencing and all that, stuff or whatever. You can do the drum stuff or whatever. Um, you can do all that. But the thing I found kind of difficult to do was actually stretch out everything. And what I meant by that is like going to arrange it, just taking it all the way down, duplicating it or whatever. How I like to arrange is I duplicate everything. So in Maschine, I'm able to just take this right here, I go to seams, and then I just hit duplicate. And it's just easy as that. Well, here, it's not set up like that. You would have to first duplicate, hold duplicate, hit that seam, go to seam 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But then you have to go down. You see what I'm saying? And it just does some whole other shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, you would have thought that it worked like that, but it don't. But until I found out that you have to do it like this and then do that. So, but then you duplicating it. So it's like, how do you take that pattern that you started on in bank 1 and bring it over to bank 2? I figured it out, but it was a workaround. It wasn't as smooth as I would like for it to be, like how it is on the machine, where you just hit seam and then you just tap that button, bam, and you're there. So that was one thing. Oh, as a matter of fact, I got this window open right here, let me show you another thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate these, and I'm gonna shrink it down. There's this window down right here. Now on the machine, to be able to set your loop points, you're able to hold shift, restart, and then one of the left or right arrows right here by your jog wheel to either move it this way if you want to do left, or if you want to go right, you hold down the right arrow and you go right. Now, it doesn't do that in Maschine Jam at all. And that's one of my pet peeves, is that the reason why I got the Jam is so I can be able to arrange faster. Definitely when I do my cook-up videos and such, to be able to arrange and stretch it all out and be able to bring up and do new patterns without having to do all that extra key step and, shift and whatever, pattern or whatever, just to be able to get all that stuff going. It's all right here. So I just found that was more of a hassle, because in my arrangement, if y'all ever watch my cook-up videos, once I stretch it all the way out, I'm automatically doing this, and I'm zooming it back in, and I'm looping the whole point. You know what I'm saying? So that was a hassle right there, because I cannot do that here. I was thinking that this may be a go-to for me to be able to arrange, set my loop points where I wanted at, and this is that. Now you can do it for the pattern in the seam itself, but so far as when you're in song arrangement trying to stretch it from beginning to end, it don't do that. Or I haven't seen it do it, or come across any information on how to do that. So if it's anybody out here that know how to set your loop points from beginning to end of the song arrangement using the Maschine Jam and Maschine Jam only, leave a comment. I'd definitely like to see that happen. But as of right now, as it stands, I don't think it does that. I've tried every kind of different way, and it doesn't do it. So that's one thing. Now the things I do like about it is that, it do have the capabilities of having your patterns all on bank A, group A or whatever it be, and you can just click those and keep on going. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was pretty damn dope. So I ain't gotta do the shift and pattern, and then bring up pattern mode, and then make a whole nother one, and then come out of that just to do it. I ain't gotta do all that. I can just bam, hit that button, come back over here, do it. Got it. You know what I'm saying? So my experiences with Maschine Jam is really, really good, outside of the stretching of the song arrangement piece and the power off button. Everything else I can cope with. I like the note, roll situation. I like that. That's pretty dope. I think that's pretty dope, and I can use that in my arrangement and in my production. So for the most part, like I said, man, it's a workaround. It's something new to work with. Definitely, my workflow's been in the machine studio for quite some time. Do I feel like it's really worth the money? It ain't that expensive, but at the same time, you really don't really need it, and you really doing good with the workflow of the machine studio. If you have that, or the MK2, then you kind of good with that, just sticking with that. But if you absolutely just need the setup of being able to get to new patterns and stuff like that, or you're a person who isn't that swift on drum patterns and stuff, and you need to sequence it more, then this is good for you all day long. This is the ideal machine to have. So that's pretty much my total review over this whole Maschine Jam situation right here. Is it's kind of difficult to stretch everything out, you know what I'm saying, and setting your loop points and the power button. Those are the only three things that I just don't too much care for. But outside of that, everything else I'm pretty comfortable with, and I'm a satisfied customer. So this your guy King David, trapmaster.com. Don't forget to subscribe, share the content, and like as well. Peace.